Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new season of Premier League football here on all the TCM platforms. We've got a cracker for you today. We've got Crystal Palace taking on Arsenal here at the start, and it should be an absolute crackeroonie of a game. This one always is when these two teams play each other. London derbies always are the same when it comes to this sort of thing, but there is a cracking atmosphere as it always is, and we should be in for a cracking. Cracking game here this afternoon, or this evening rather. So we're all set almost to go here. The two teams out on the tunnel. So let's give you the two lineups then, shall we, for today's game? It's Crystal Palace starting with Vincent Guaita in goals for them. Then it's a back four of Nathaniel Klein, Joachim Anderson, Mark Gehi and Tyreek Mitchell. And then it's Jeff Schwab, Chick Decore, and Jordan Ayew and Abakivski Eze. I can't pronounce his name, so we'll say Eze. Will Sahar and Edouard up front. Arsenal quickly with Aaron Ramsdale in goal, Ben White, Gabriel and Saliba, who makes his debut. They play as a back three. And also another debutant in the midfield alongside Saka, Partey and Xhaka is Oleg Zinchenko from Manchester City. Martin Odegaard will play in the number 10 role as the captain. And Gabriel Jesus, who makes his competitive debut. And Gabriel Martinelli are the strike force. And we'll give you the two benches a little bit later on. The referee today is Anthony Taylor from Wythenshawe, Greater Manchester. Gary Bezigan had none of the assistants. Peter Banks is the fourth official. And Darren England is the VAR referee with James Mannering, don't tell him Pike, the assistant VAR. So we're all set to go then. And the atmosphere around Selhurst Park, it's always electric, as it always has been, especially when it's Derby Day. Or Derby evening, as we said. Arsenal, remember, went to Brentford this time a year ago and were beaten 2-0. And again, we brought you on the TC Hub, incidentally. And I'm sure Mike Kahneman will be listening along and watching along with great interest that the same will not happen to Arsenal this time. The season's always started with Friday night games for the last 5 years, and every one of them has been won by the home team. So Crystal Palace in their striped shirts of maroon and blue will kick off. And the players, as ever, will take the knee to highlight that there's no room for any sort of racism in life as well as football. And we get underway then. So an important game for both sides. Well, we're going to get underway in a second. We are underway now. And away we go then. Crystal Palace in those striped shirts. Arsenal in sort of an old pink strip, but it's not that ridiculous white number they wore at Nottingham Forest a year ago in the last year in the FA Cup. That is for sure. So let's hope there's no problem in that department. Atmosphere is good. The weather conditions are in excellent condition. It's been a bright, sunlit afternoon here at Selhurst, which often makes it a good occasion. And Selhurst Park is a wonderful venue, and we're just having one or two technical difficulties. So we'll. But what I will say is that Crystal Palace are a good side. They've spent very heavily under Patrick Vieira, and they should. They should have a good season again. They certainly had a good season last year under Vieira, finishing just, I think, around the top 10 area. Arsenal finishing 5th. But Arsenal, as I say, they've spent quite heavily as well in their quest to try and get into the top 4 again. And as I say, the atmosphere now absolutely electric now as the crowd now start to build up here at Palace. It's a great atmosphere, as I say, and And we provide 24 seconds. It's still no score. But we'll, as soon as we get the link, get the feed of the game back, we will bring you commentary. But nothing has happened in the opening exchanges, so we'll keep going for you. Just apologies for as I said, the lack of anything at the moment. We will bring it to you. Our tech boys are hard at work trying to get the feed of the game, but there's nothing that's been missed at all. And hopefully we should have it very shortly for you. And Jesus is in there, and I do apologise. We had Drew there on our feed there for just a second or two, but now we don't. But Gabriel Jesus has missed a great opportunity there for Arsenal in the opening exchanges of the game. And Arsenal should have been in front in the opening stages. Real good play there from the Arsenal, and almost cutting apart that defence, that Crystal Palace defence. Hits Kihi, who's the captain now, breaks here for Martinelli, who shoots wide of Gaeta's far post. So we've had 3 minutes gone. We are live now. And Arsenal have just missed a golden chance. Just to remind you, the teams: Gaeta, Klein, Anderson, Guiri, Mitchell, Schlupp, Decore, Ayew, Eze, Sahar, and Edouard, Ramsdale, Gabriel, Saliba, Partey, Xhaka, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Jesus, and Martinelli. And we're live now properly with you. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 0. Alex Zinchenko plays the ball over the halfway line. And number 11, Gabriel Martinelli, just strides more or less into his own half. And there's a cracking carnival atmosphere. It's hard to believe that we started the season just last week with the championship. Burnley playing last weekend. Here's a good run from Saka into the area. Xhaka was lurking. Comes to Martinelli on the edge of the box. Martinelli twists and turns. Feeds Zinchenko on the left. Zinchenko back to Jesus. Them two linked up well at Manchester City, remember? And already in the opening 5 minutes, Crystal Palace looking very much on the back foot. And the ball back with Aaron Ramsdale in the Arsenal goal. Arsenal attacking the Elmsdale Road end at Selhurst Park this evening. Crystal Palace, one of those atmospheric stadiums where it's just a great joy to be around. Ball knocked forward over the top. Zinchenko trying to chase that one, and he's got there ahead of Nathaniel Klein, but he's knocked it out of play. Will be a throw to Crystal Palace. Just to remind you of the substitutes: Johnston, Ward, Richards, Milivojevic, Will Hughes, Wiedewald, Abawai, Plange, and Mateta for Crystal Palace. For Arsenal, Turner, the goalkeeper, an American, Kieran Tierney, Rob Holding, Cedric Suarez, Lokonga, El Neni, and Nketiah, Nicola Pepe, and Reece Nelson. Schwab sets up in pursuit, but Saliba gets back there and does a good defensive work. In fact, wins the throw. Going up to 6.5 minutes gone then at Selhurst here on all the platforms. Just to remind you, all the platforms that we are transmitting this match to you tonight. We're on the TC Hub, TC Hub 2, JB Sports, and Storm FM. Those are the YouTube channels that you can listen to the Commentary Hub feed. And the other way you can listen to us is via Twitch at the Commentary Hub /Twitch. And we're nice to have you with us. And we'll try and read out a few of your comments. JB, John Stuttard, so bring you alternate commentary from Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace from charging forward with Zinchenko, rather. Jesus flicks it on. Bukayo Saka, but the flag is up for an offside decision. And a free kick to Crystal Palace with 7 minutes gone here on opening night in the Premier League. It's been 5 minutes since we finished the last one. Gabriel Jesus has been in red hot form actually during the summer in the pre-season warm-ups. In fact, Arsenal have actually had a very, very particularly good warm-up. As Guaita now tries to play out from the back. It'll be interesting to see how Palace really do get on this season. Second season under Vieira. Here's Xhaka, good break. Zinchenko with the shot deflected and turned away brilliantly by Guaita. And Klein had to get that out. And that was a real horrible moment there for Crystal Palace. Arsenal almost in the lead. Zinchenko out, gets it, takes the throw, and then gets the ball back down. Goes down the left-hand side. Cross back is a good one. Partey trying the shot. It was charged away. Palace on the back foot. Arsenal asking all the questions. And so far, so good as far as they're concerned. And now the ball is back with Aaron Ramsdale. Arsenal in the last couple of windows have spent nearly nigh on £300 million on new talent. Which just goes to show that Arteta likes to invest quite a lot of money in youth. So Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko have been very clever signings so far. The pre-season is anything to go by. Crystal Palace have been far more modest in the transfer window. Most of the players, apart from Decore, were here last season. It's amazing that he's chosen Mark Guehi as captain rather than Will Saha. Maybe Vieira felt that Saha probably having the captaincy may have burdened him somewhat, but Mark Guehi is a very capable player, good young player as well. Came into the side last season and did remarkably well actually. Came to prominence at Turf Moor in that 3-3 match, which was famous for that volleyed goal scored by a certain Maxwell Cornet, who's just completed a move to West Ham for something in the region of about £17.5 million. So another decent player gone from Turf Moor, but I think he's going to a very good club, incidentally. Here's Wilfried Zaha now on the far side. Ben White tracking him over there, but Zaha's got that pace and he's got that somber. Now, what frustrates me about Will Zaha from a commentator's point of view is that he has the tools and he has the skills, but more often than not, his discipline really does let him down. And I'd like to see more of the footballing side to his game rather than just his moaning and groaning, if you see what I mean. Here's Zinchenko now on the ball. Plays it on to Jesus. Jesus trying to step away. Zinchenko wins possession. Xhaka flicks it on. Good football this from Arsenal now in the 10th minute of the first half. They've had a shot on goal. And it's been on target. Zinchenko turning it back. So far it's looking onerous that Arsenal are going for the jugular. Even at the early stages of this game, they are looking to try and give Palace a bloody nose as soon as they can here. Also, the other teams play tomorrow and Sunday. If you haven't seen Turton Talks Football, you can catch it on Luke's YouTube channel. Last night I talked very glowingly about Nottingham Forest this season, and now they could be red hot favourites to stave off relegation and possibly finish in the mid-table areas. Anyway, you can check that out on Luke Turton Talks Football, and I hope Luke and the guys are listening along to this one tonight. And it's good to see. I know it's sad to see Burnley get out of the league this season. It's also good to see Nottingham Forest back in there for the 30th anniversary of the Premier League as well. August 1992 was the year when football changed forever, when the old Division 1 became the Premier League. All that jazz. And Arsenal then had the George Graham side that used to win 1-0 every week. Well, winning championships in the George Graham. Crystal Palace were doing well under Steve Coppell. I seem to remember they had, well, before the last season, they had Mark Bright and Ian Wright and people like that. And one year, I think, in the penultimate season of the first division, they finished third. I think it was behind Liverpool and was it Aston Villa? I can't remember. They certainly finished third. No, it was Arsenal. It was Arsenal, in fact. On their day at Selhurst Park, they can cause an upset and cause a shock against the big teams. Arsenal starting really well. Remember, they started like this a year ago at Brentford and then lost, so they don't want to be making the same mistakes as they were then. As Edouard comes forward, picks up Eze, and they will be looking. Palace will be looking to him to supply some much-needed goals from that area. Eze's Crystal Palace career has not really got off to a flying start. There's an injured player down there. Looks like Granit Xhaka's in the wars, as you'd expect. Usually dishing out the treatment rather than taking it himself. I think it was innocuous, really. Yeah, Zaha's cross, it hit him in the face. Nothing that Wilf Zaha could have done about that. Arsenal have done well to try and silence the Selhurst throw up. 14 gone. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 0 on all TCF platforms. Don't forget, up for the season, as I mentioned last week, is the Melon streaming app. Check their website out if you can. If you want to stream with them at www.melonat.com. And of course, the player of the match later will be sponsored, of course, by the commentary services. So we'll give them a little shout out as well in the first half, which we've had a quarter of an hour almost. Still Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 0. Here's Xhaka now winning possession, and the ball played away. And here's Jeffrey Shupp, a Premier League title winner, of course, in his days at Leicester City under Claudio Ranieri. Seems such a long time ago since those halcyon days. At least 7 years now since they won it. Side from Lens Czech Decore. Made 34 League One appearances last season. $26 million. It cost him from Lens in France. He's not had too far to travel, just over the channel and just a bit above Palace, not too far above Kent. As Zinchenko takes possession, finds Granit Xhaka. Xhaka tears nicely and gets the ball out there. Here's Alex Zinchenko again. And going down a cul-de-sac, and then the ball back in there once more. This is number 12, William Saliba. He's making his debut like Czech Decore, like Gabriel Jesus, and like Alex Zinchenko. Arsenal just passing around again at will here in this opening quarter of an hour. Crystal Palace 2 wins, 5 draws and a defeat in their last 8 against Arsenal, including 1 win, 1 draw last season. So they took 4 points off Arsenal essentially last season. So Patrick Vieira's got something about him up against his old side. He made his name at Arsenal, of course, under Arsene Wenger. Won the double in 98 and 2002, of course, and was part of the invincible side that didn't lose a single league game in 2003, 2004. It's Vincent Guaita, Spaniard with the goal kick then, right-footed. Trying to look for the head of Jordan Ayew, but the ball out of play on the near side, so it will be a throw-in to Arsenal. Palace have kept 5 straight clean sheets so far. Never kept 6 in the top 5. Eze now to Zaha. Zaha running at all colours, crosses in there, looking towards Eze. If we've seen in his QPR days, he's capable of very much the spectacular. Look at I'm just looking at Mikel Arteta over on the far side there. just urging his team on a bit. That's quite extraordinary, really, when you look at the way he's urging his team on here in this opening quarter of an hour. As Anderson touches it in there, but good closing down by Arsenal. Now Klein, the former Liverpool player, looks the ball back once more. Flick on again into the path of Ayew. Of course, Nathaniel Klein's back for his second spell at Selhurst Park. Was a youngster when Neil Warnock was the manager around about the 2010 mark, when they were struggling to keep a side together when they were in the Championship, because there's a foul there, free kick to Arsenal, because the finances then under Simon Jordan were very, very bad, unfortunately. Just looking at that tackle there on Martinelli again. Decore and Ayew both wiped him out, although Ayew made the first challenge. Arsenal in possession now with Ben White in his second season after his £50 million move from Brighton last summer. He's fitted in well at the heart of the Arsenal defence, certainly last season. Ball played into the area. Jesus trying to turn, he gets a deflecting. It will be a corner kick to Arsenal to be taken on the far side. So Palace must be beware. I think Jesus looks really, really sharp. I've seen a little bit of film of him play for Arsenal in the pre-season warm-ups. It looks a pretty nifty signing. So 19 minutes gone here on the TC Hub. Palace corner, that's rather Arsenal corner. See what they can make of this now from this far side as the corner probes in towards the far post. Zinchenko's header back, and it's a farm scene, and it's gone in! It's gone in! Arsenal have scored! Martinelli must have got the touch, and Arsenal take the lead, and the dominance in the first 20 minutes, or 19 and a half minutes, has richly deserved that reward. Palace were all over the place. It was a very deep corner that Zinchenko did well to hook the ball back with his head at the far post. And then in the crowd scene, Martinelli got a flick and nodded it in the left corner. Here comes the corner. As I say, a very deep one. Zinchenko completely on mark, won the first header. Martinelli the second one. Nestled sweetly in the left-hand corner. And Selhurst is silent. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 1, and Gabriel Martinelli scores the first goal of this season's Premier League season. Guaita got a hand, but not enough. It may be a touch on the scrappy side, on the touch fortunate side, but Arteta will not care. His side are in front and on the balance of play, very much deservedly so. Guaita kicks away, so there'll be no 6 consecutive clean sheet for Crystal Palace. Stretching back to last season at home. Martinelli on the ball now, the man who scored the goal, just about a minute or two back, away from Ayew. Did well to get away from Jordan Ayew. He's got Zinchenko on the overlap on the left-hand side. Uses Martinelli again. Good football this for Arsenal. Looking really, really solid here. Granit Xhaka. They won't want him to be suspended for too much this season. His disappointing record being shown there, and Palace have conceded a free kick. Anthony Taylor there, the referee from Whitenshaw. I've still got a bone to pick with him for obvious reasons from last season, but I said soon as mended. Here's Thomas Partey now. Partey running forward once more. Jesus is there. Jesus knocking it out to Bukayo Saka, who's really matured in the last 18 months as a really quality footballer, not just for Arsenal, but for England too. Oh, nice turn from Jesus inside the penalty area. Beat off one man and then another. Thomas Partey comes forward, chips it into the area. In goes Jesus again. He does look a threat, that Gabriel Jesus. It's got to be said. And at the moment, you have to say in the opening part of the first half that Arsenal, you have to say, are worthy leaders as two Palace players are down on their haunches inside their own penalty box away to my left-hand side. Anderson got the ball there. Jesus was a little late there, but no more. But took one for the team there. So did Jesus by the looks of it. So Palace have conceded 5 fouls already. Arsenal the 1. Mikel Arteta talking tactics at the moment with his coaching staff. These foreign managers these days. Arsenal finished 6th actually with 69 points. Very much an improvement on previous years. But it's the 6th straight Premier League season that they haven't finished in the top 4. But I think this year, could be the year they break that ramming spell. But they have won the FA Cup a few times in them seasons. 2017 and 2020 when they did win the FA Cup. So they have won trophies. The FA Cup variety. I say the FA Cup ain't. Some people say that FA Cup isn't as big a deal anymore. Well, I digress. As Will Zaha battles over on the far side and brings down his man. It's a free kick against Will Zaha. Gives a rueful look towards referee Taylor, who was right on the spot, and I thought it was bang on the money with that decision. I don't think Will Zaha needed just to get involved there. Just needs to shut up a little bit, Will Zaha. Arsenal have had 12 touches inside the opposition box. Palace just the 1. Halfway through the first half. The only statistic that really you need to know, guys, is that Arsenal are winning Crystal Palace by a goal to 0, and deservedly so. They've been the better team. Palace really nothing statistically and on the field have offered absolutely zero as an attacking force so far, which illustrates what you need to know, really. Don't forget, we are open for the chat. If you do want to chat, just come and chat to us on the TC Hub if you'd like to join us. And that goes for all the YouTube platforms and the Twitch platform. Here's Will Zaha, far side, plays in there towards Edouard. But again, Arsenal looking very strong in defence at the moment. Booted away to the stratosphere, headed back by Schrupp. Klein will get on the loose ball here on the right-hand side. Goes in field now to number 28, which is the Corey, the debutant. And now to Klein, now to Eze, who's put the ball out of play because there's an injury here to one of the Palace players. And it looks like Jordan Ayew to me. There's a collision here between him and Martin Odegaard, and I don't think it was anything sinister or malicious in any way from the Arsenal man. It was just 6 of one, half a dozen to the other, and it was just one of those 50-50 ones where it could have gone either way. Ball knocked down the line on the left-hand side, but it's cut out by Arsenal as Palace attacked. Now Zinchenko has it down the right. He goes, cuts back in field. It's Granit Xhaka, number 34. And now Zinchenko. And right down below us here. And now the ball being threaded back at the moment. It's a tough baptism really for Crystal Palace, who haven't really got themselves into it at all. They have looked very timid in their play. Of course, this is the first of 38 games. Of course, it will be a heavily disrupted Premier League season than normal because, of course, of the World Cup taking place in 3 months' time in Qatar. You'll be able to hear all the action that matters on the TC Hub for the World Cup, incidentally. Looking forward to bringing you that one for you. That'll be a Palace corner, an Arsenal corner rather. Came off Anderson. Joachim Anderson to give him his full name. Arsenal scored their last corner. This will be the third, or the second, it says on the caption. So it must be the second corner. They scored from their first one. Can they make it this one? Martinelli is going to take it this time. Getting a little bit of abuse from the Armsdale Road supporters. The Palace Ultras as that corner comes in. It's a good one. Little awkward for Guaita to fist it. He did get good distance on it. The ball knocked back again. It will break to Martinelli once more. Martinelli looking to control it. Finds Martin Odegaard. And that's a good ball by Odegaard into the Palace penalty box. And it's knocked away once more. Ben White hooks it out. It will be a throw-in to Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira did really well last season. Mid-table. Finished 12th actually with 48 points. The 7th actual straight Premier League season without finishing in the top, outside the top 10. But for a club like Palace, it's not too surprising. Palace last played against each other. Won the last meeting 3-0. But they've never won any consecutive league games against the Arsenal. So at the moment, it doesn't look as if it's going to be that way either. As well as the 6 clean sheets at home in a row record. That's gone. It went for a Burton as soon as Martinelli knocked the ball. Oh my goodness, the goalkeeper Ramsdale hit it, I think, against Ayew. And thankfully for Ramsdale, it bounced away. And it's Edouard now bringing it forward. And the chip forward in there towards the penalty area. Volley on the far side by Saha. It will be a corner. Well, that was a rare mistake from Aaron Ramsdale. He hasn't made too many at the club. He's one that, if you watch that Against All Odds series that has just come out from last season, he gets annoyed when he concedes a consolation goal. It'd be even more cranky if he had conceded from there. But Saha was a good bit of defending actually from Ben White. But the flag had gone up for an offside decision by the looks of it. That's another thing that's going to yank my chain now for the next 9 or 10 months. These offside laws. They are the devil in disguise for me. If he's offside, put the flag up. Well, do it, he'll get on with the game. And I'll keep saying that until Kingdom Come, but IFAB who make the rules up, they won't listen to a bare word some commentator on YouTube saying because they think they know better. Unfortunately, I don't think they do. Here's Partey now touching it back. Arsenal winning by a goal to 0. Deservedly so. They booked a very useful outfit, and I think the attacks have a lot more dimension to them with Zinchenko and Jesus up front. Ball not forward. Anderson cuts the wrong ball out from Arsenal. And Ramsdale actually conceded 39 goals and kept 12 clean sheets in 34 league games last season. So he's done really well. A lot of questions were asked about him when he signed for Arsenal. Oh my goodness, he almost got into trouble there. The ball out of play will be a throw into Palace. Just going back to Ramsdale, a lot of questions asked by a lot of supporters actually, because he'd been relegated in the 2 seasons before that with Sheffield United and with Bournemouth before that. There was a lot of mumblings of discontent amongst the Arsenal fans, but I think he's won them over. Although they want to win him over. They want to win him over with a couple of silly little errors there, which could have cost Arsenal dear, but it hasn't, and it's still 1-0 to the Arsenal. Anderson spraying the play again. Palace doing touring attacking. At the moment, no, Vieira's side just haven't really gone into it too much as an attacking force, unfortunately. As Ayew takes possession, Zinchenko is there to close at hand. Zinchenko winning the ball actually quite well. And then Ayew laying it back into the path. Anderson now takes possession on the edge of his own penalty area. Crystal Palace still, Arsenal 1, 31 minutes gone on all the TCO platforms, including YouTube, and the channels that are participating in the coverage this season include JB Sports, JB Sports, Storm FM, TCO 1, or TCO itself, and TCO 2, and we're also on the TCO Twitch channel at twitch.tv. And if you want to follow us on Twitter for the latest football news, you can do via our Twitter handle at Commentary Live 1. Jeffrey Shutt now on the ball for Palace. At the moment, it's just keep ball at the moment. Nothing really significantly happening in this game. And Sanderson, it's a long ball forward, looking towards the run of Wilfried Zaha. He's got Edouard in the middle. Zaha trying to go alone. Possibly trying to do far too much there, Zaha. We all know about his talent, so we know what he's all about. But I think sometimes in certain games, he just tries to do that one little trick, one little flick too many. And I think he can endear himself to frustration from certain sections of supporters. Joachim Anderson there, the Crystal Palace defender. Mark Gihey, like I say, is the captain. Martin Odegaard, the Arsenal captain. So far, so good for him. I know we haven't seen too much of Odegaard in this opening 33 minutes. Plenty of time for that not to be the case. At the moment, Arsenal looking in very good form in possession, and they might get a break on here with Granit Xhaka if he can play the right ball. Jesus with a nice little touchback, and Odegaard was shaping up to shoot. Jesus plays it out to Saka. Saka now, we go to Jesus, plays the 1-2 with Jesus, and then they just break down in communication, and Jesus concedes a free kick to Crystal Palace, and a free kick it is to the Eagles. Trailing by a goal to 0, remember. This is the goal again. It's Zinchenko who won the first header. And Martin now hitting it past Gaeta. Superbly into the right-hand corner of the net. Could have easily been Saliba who got up there, but it wasn't. It was Martinelli. And wheeling away in celebration, the joy in his face really said it all. Arsenal fans very delighted as well. They haven't had too much to cheer out over the last few years in terms of league position. The season reached the Carabao semi-finals. Of course, lost famously to Nottingham Forest as well on that Sunday night in early January, which saw them dumped out the FA Cup at the third round stage. We wonder whether draw Forest again in the third round next time, won't they? Otherwise, they will be in a bit of a big trouble then, won't they? As Klein gets the ball back, there's just nothing really happening at the moment. It's so the tempo is really now there might be something on there for Saha. And while trying to get underneath that, it was a bit up and underish. Gary Owen, if you like, type ball. And Edward plays it in there. Ayu's there. And Arsenal just about defending that one well. There's a possibility of there was a possibility of a possible handball against Gabriel. It does hit his arm, but his arm is down by his side. I wonder if VAR will check it. They do check these things. No, they're not going to check it. And I don't think they need to check that, to be perfectly honest. I think that's a perfectly good decision there by Darren England. I'm playing the ball from the right, but he's lost possession. Quick kick given to Arsenal, followed by Jordan Ayew of Crystal Palace. And actually, Anthony Taylor, for once, is having a good game of football. He's usually my nemesis when I always tries to make me angry, very angry, and turns me almost into the Incredible Hulk. But anyway, about cartoon comics. Got a real life one developing in front of our eyes. Martinelli looks like being the hero. Ball into the penalty area, knocked away once more. You're tussling with it there, but the ball is out. So the last 9 minutes plus injury time at the end of the first half. We will take a 15-minute break before the second half reconvenes. This is the first of many live games that are going to be coming your way. We've got the World Cup, we've got the Carabao Cup, we've got the FA Cup in the new year. We've got the Premier League, the Football League, the Champions League. Bit of Scotland as well, bit of Scottish football as well to boot. So we've got everything for you in the next 12 months as well. There's a chance there for Xhaka inside the area. Desperate defending there from Crystal Palace, but they got away with it all right. Eze on to Saha. Palace well off the pace in this first half. Eze and Saha, they just need to get them on the ball a bit more, I feel, and they could be in business. But at the moment, it's Odegaard. So, Thomas Partey, Odegaard wants the ball again. Gets the ball again on the right-hand side. Takes on Eze. Plays the ball to Bukayo Saka. And the ball hooked out there by number 6, Gabriel. Zinchenko's had a good first half. Certainly been the best. Certainly been a very good player so far. Some of the Arsenal player has been brilliant. They've been great, solid. Slow music says hi, hello. We'll try and chat about the game, please, folks. If you would like to comment, please do that. I'd like to hear your opinions on what's happening here at Selhurst tonight. "37 minutes gone, coming up to 38 gone. Last 10 minutes have sort of quietened down a little bit. And then the ball knocked back to Vincent Guaita. Arsenal doing a highly professional job at the moment on Crystal Palace, but there's still be another half of football still to be played in this match, and as we will head towards the second half with great relish for sure. Well, we've had an enjoyable first half anyway. You know, the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes, nothing really much has happened. I know we might see something here. Will Star is there close at hand. Here he is now, taking number 3, Tarek Mitchell, and then Palace winning a free kick deep inside Arsenal territory here. I think Saha tricked the referee a little bit there. I don't think Thomas Partey did that much wrong. And Saha does have a tendency and a reputation to, shall we say, over-egg things a bit. Let's see what Arsenal are capable of. And it's easy with the free kick towards the left-hand side, the far side as we look. Can Palace get themselves the equaliser? Easy stocks it in the area. Up gone ahead. It was Mark Gehi who got there first. Ball played to Anderson. Anderson will keep it alive. Gets a low cross in there. Comes out once more. Arsenal all hands on the deck defending. Here's Anderson again, looking to run again into space. Goes Ayew. And then Klein back to Anderson again on the right hand side. Just moving the ball across, trying to switch the play from right to left flank at the moment. Not been easy. We've got a championship scoreline at the moment. We'll bring you that. Birmingham City taking on Huddersfield Town. We'll bring you news of that. It's good news for Birmingham City fans as the ball is played forward and Arsenal on the possession. There's no foul there. There is a foul advantage though for Crystal Palace, and now he'll play it back. Fouled by Ben White and Wilfred Zaha. Free kick to Crystal Palace. So the score from the championship at the moment is a good one if you're a Birmingham City fan. This is a half-time score, incidentally. We're hearing Hogan and Plachetto, I think, were the goals there. And it's Birmingham City 2, Huddersfield Town 0. So Huddersfield beaten last Friday by Burnley. Not like they're being beaten by Birmingham. We took a crucial point off Luton Town last week. John Eustace aside taking 4 points. Here's a chance for Palace inside the area. It was a diving header. And it was saved apart by point blank range by Aaron Ramsdale. The free kick from Eze Anderson won the first header. The flag stayed down. Was touch and go, whether it's offside or not. Edouard as he nodded it goal bound, but nevertheless, good reactions from Aaron Ramsdale. Not 1-1 all the way there. But Ramsdale diving away to his right, had other ideas as he looked. Scored 6 goals, 3 assists in 28 games last season. That's one Edouard. He's a very good player. Came to prominence the season before last at Celtic. We've got him, he's moved down south. England manager, well, very much an under fire England manager these days. Gareth Southgate, having had a disastrous summer in the Nations League. being beaten 4-0 by Hungary at Molineux. That was scarcely believable. All flicked on around the corner. That should be Ramsdale's, rather Gaeta's and his. Anderson has it now for Palace. Oh, last month or so, women's football has quite rightly dominated the headlines. And the winning of the Euros last week was unbelievably brilliant in terms of what it will do for the women's game in this country. But the men's game certainly up and running with a vengeance itself, and they will not want to be outshone by any of the women. Here's Eze. He goes a little bit too easy, does Eze. And a free kick not given. Odegaard for Arsenal still. 1-0 they lead, but they've been out and out again. No foul, said Mr. Taylor. Arsenal in possession anyway. And the ball knocked forward under the path of Xhaka. Xhaka takes it on. He goes down. And the referee says free kick to Crystal Palace. And a yellow card is going to be issued to Granit Xhaka for simulation. And he feels, Xhaka, that he was not the guilty party, but referee Taylor did not agree. Now, let's have a look. The replay. Oh, there was hardly anything there. And you could tell from the moment he did that, Granit Xhaka knew it. There's no good protesting your innocence when you're guilty as charged and banged to rights. I think the referee was well within his rights to book Granit Xhaka for that. That was ridiculous. The last minute of the first half then, and so far so good for Mikel Arteta. So if you're Patrick Vieira, though, Manuel Petit, the other half of that famous midfield that won the double in '98, and the World Cup, of course. Both played in the same midfield together, and Petit scored in the third goal in that final. 2-2 scored by Zinedine Zidane. France beat Brazil in a day's Ronaldo all those years ago in France, 1998. Ball breaks to Welk Sahar on the far side. We're inside 1 at a minute at the end of the first half. And with a goal in around about the 10th minute, scored by Gabriel Martinelli, which has given Arsenal a commanding 1-0 lead. It's been a very comfortable lead. Palace have threatened on a couple of occasions, but nothing too sinister. And whatever the goalkeepers had to do, he's did it well. Aaron Ramsdale, his goal kicking has been a lot to be desired. But Palace will go on one more saute before they finish in the first half. And Edouard with another good chance. Might get a second back. Oh, he's flicked it over. Might have got a deflection. It is a corner. It was blocked by Saka inside the Arsenal penalty area. It was a lovely football again. Just came out once more. Yes, gets a deflection. Palace now have a chance to draw level. A bit of last chance. There will be time, surely, for this corner to be taken. Easy to take the corner then. Moves it into that penalty area. Headed out. And there goes the half-time whistle. Well, it's largely been uninspiring. It's not been the best first half of football we'll ever see in the league, but we have a goal at the break. It was gifted. It was scored by Martinelli, in fact, after 20 minutes. After a deep corner was headed backwards from the left-hand side by Alex Zinchenko, making his Arsenal debut tonight. He nodded it back, and then from 6 yards out, Martinelli found the left corner, did the rest. And Arsenal lead at half-time here on the TCM by a 0-0 at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. And while they take a break for half-time, we're going to do the same for the next 15 minutes. And I'll be back with you in good time for the second half. But the half-time situation, as we leave you for at least 10 minutes or so here on the TC Hub and all the platforms, is that Arsenal are winning today. Gabriel Martinelli's 20-minute goal is beating Crystal Palace by a 0-0. We'll take a little break. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. Welcome back to Selhurst Park, everybody, as we are now waiting to start the second half. Martinelli's goal after 20 minutes of difference. And yeah, it was a decent first half without really catching fire too much. Of course, at the start of the season, it's always one of those that early season things can fly out the window sometimes. And I just want to tell you that if people are swearing on the comments, please don't, because we are a family-friendly show. There's a lot of children that listen to these things and watch comments, and the one thing they don't want to see is people swearing. So please keep your comments clean. Otherwise, we'll not allow your comments to be on. We do have moderators. So away we go in the second half. And back in we go then, and we are back live. So no changes in either side as far as I can make out in terms of what substitutions they are. Well, let me just run you through the 2-11s again that started. In goal for Crystal Palace, it's Vincent Guaita. At the back, it's Nathaniel Klein, Joachim Anderson, Mark Gahey, the captain, and Tyreek Mitchell. Then it's Jeff Schwab, Czech Decore, who's making his Palace debut tonight, Jordan Ayew, and Eberichi Eze. And then up front, it's Wolf Sahaban and Osamendmart. Crystal Palace. Oh, that's for Crystal Palace 11. On the bench for Palace, Johnston, Ward, Richards, Milivojevic, Hughes, Ebowe. As we just see break off for a second because Palace are only attacking. Might break Sahar in the area. It comes away once more. Arsenal get it clear. Biderwoud, Panay, and Mateta. Arsenal with Aaron Ramsdale, of course, in goal. Then it's a back three, Ben White, Gabriel Williams, Saliba, who started his career, of course, or makes his debut rather tonight, wearing an Arsenal shirt. And it's Bukayo Saka, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, and Oleg Zinchenko in the midfield. With Martin Odegaard as the 10 as Palace come forward. We'll finish the Arsenal team up in a second. Shot deflects. And wide from Jeffrey Schlupp. Better from Crystal Palace at the start. So just to finish the last 11, Martin Odegaard in the number 10 role. Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli are the strikers. Martinelli's goal, the difference after 20 minutes. On the bench, Turner, Tierney, Holding, Soares, Lokonga, Elneny, Nketiah, Pepe, and Nelson. Right, we're back underway now with a Palace corner. Floated deep towards the area, but Aaron Ramsdale had it, lost it, got it again. New Arsenal number 1. Bert Leno, incidentally, has gone to Fulham. That was announced late last week, earlier this week. Granit Xhaka takes possession again for Arsenal. Just reminded the referees Anthony Taylor from Wythenshawe. To exceptions are Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn on the field. Peter Banks is the 4th official. Darren England is the VAR referee. And assistant referees James Mannering, Doug Tallenpike as the assistant VAR. And how well have I loved saying that this last few years now. But thankfully, we had no VAR to get us teeth into tonight. Only action that matters has taken place on the field, and I think referee Anthony Taylor has done a pretty good job up until now. He's given Arsenal a free kick here in a very promising position deep inside the Palace half on the far side, the left-hand side of Arsenal. And the possibility here to try and pick something here as Odegaard sends it into the mixer once again, beats everybody inside the penalty area. Bukayo Saka is kept out alive, done really well. And that's a good ball into the penalty area. Anderson not for the first time having to deal with it. Chester down there by Saliba, who's gone forward from the back and will have to get back now and does so. Gets a foot in there against Eze. Rather fair one. To be fair to Eze, he didn't complain, didn't shirk the challenge too badly. Palace look to come forward again with Will Saha. They need to get him into the game a bit more. I think he's been quite quiet from an attacking sense. He's probably spent too much time moaning and groaning over nothing, and Just needs to get into the game a bit more. We view around the world this commentary from on the TC Hub, on these YouTube platforms, the TC Hub, JB Sports, Storm FM and TC Hub 2. And we're on Twitch as well at www.twitch.tv/the commentary hub. And we have our Twitter handle, which you can get all the latest views and news views and what's coming up on the channel. And that's our Twitter handle. That's Commentary Live 1. If you want to follow us on that, we'd be happy to join you on that. And of course, our Melon stream sponsor for the season, of course, is the good old Melon streaming app, www.melonapp.com. And the man in the match sponsor again for this season is the Commentary Services, Wiley Swain's little baby, if you like, as he inspires new commentators to take up the trade. Sponsoring our player of the match this year for the second year running. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 1. There's Bukayo Saka looking to turn inside and out. Tyrese Mitchell into the penalty area. Comes to Odegaard, who can hit him on the edge of the area. Odegaard shoots, deflected. It will be a corner for Arsenal. And it was a good block there from the Crystal Palace defence. It's Arsenal's third corner of the contest. That's the Arsenal bench look on there. As Saka takes the corner into the penalty area, it goes. It's headed out. Odegaard is there. And Zaha gets the ball now. Tries to fade the ball to number 9 here, Ayew. And Ayew running forward now. He's got Edouard on the right-hand side. The far side as I look. And again, Ben White winning the ball rather well. He's really gone into his own at Arsenal. Another risky signing a lot of people thought from Brighton. Oh, it's in the penalty area. Brilliantly denied by Aaron Ramsdale. He looked to death certain that Eze was going to score the equaliser, but he didn't in the end. And as it turned out, apologies for the background noise earlier on there, but well, that should have been 1-1, and Eze knows it. It was a glorious opportunity to level the count. And unfortunately, it didn't come to any fruition. Will Palace get many more chances like that in the next sort of half an hour or so? We'll have to wait and see, but that's another big chance wasted, really. And, well, Eze made a good run in there, and it looked as if it was 1-1 all the way. The goalkeeper made an exceptional save to keep Arsenal in front. And that's why they paid the big bucks last summer to bring Aaron Ramsdale to the club. Here come Arsenal now with Granit Xhaka into Gabriel Jesus. Jesus on the edge of the area. Oh, you surely tripped there. The referee didn't want to know. And in the end, Arsenal get away with it. Here's Will Zaha running towards the penalty area. Zaha's cross. Blocked. No handball. Zaha again. Good skills by him. No foul there. There was a clean tackle on the edge of the penalty area. And it's turned away once more. And all of a sudden, the game is livening up as a contest. Nothing wrong with that challenge there. As the ball came off the defender, and then it came to Zaha again. And that was a good challenge there by the new man, number 12, William Saliba. That was into this unfamiliar back three. Used to be an old back forward Arsenal in those days. And one by Gahi. Anderson knocking it forward on towards Ayew, but Aaron Ramsdale quickly out of his goal there. Back to Ramsdale once again. So far, so good, really, if you're an Arsenal fan. But a little moment of concern there as easy bed down on the Arsenal goal, looking for that equaliser. Ball knocked forward, and again Jesus on the chase, but it's hooked away once more. Zinchenko's been a bit more quieter in the second half thus far. Still 1-0 though to Arsenal. Martinelli's goal on the 20th minute mark is proving to be the ultimate difference. Still a long way to go. 10 minutes gone in the second half. 1-0 to the Arsenal on the TC Hub. As they look to get it to Bukayo Saka again, and he'll run at defenders. Again, he'll run at Tyrese Mitchell. And he was bundled to the ground. Referee agreed. Free kick to Arsenal. Foul by Tyrese Mitchell. And then a real opportunity knocks here for Bukayo Saka to try and play his part in this free kick. An enterprising run by him. Made 104 tackles, Tyrese Mitchell, last year. That was the third most in the Premier League as a whole. Got a bit about him, this fella. Odegaard and Martinelli, the two-men committee. As Arsenal look to try and press on their advantage and get themselves a clear deal between themselves and Crystal Palace at this stage. And in the end, the free kick didn't come too much from Martin Odegaard. And the goal kick is awarded. It's been a tough old baptism, really, for Crystal Palace. Really, in a lot of aspects, it's been, as I say, very difficult. But I think so far, Arsenal have looked pretty confident and they've looked pretty assured throughout the game. Not creating too much. They've played some enterprising stuff throughout, and yeah, I'm quite impressed with the way Arsenal are shaping up this season. Under Mikel Arteta, I think he's got a good side there. And it's going to be a corner now, in fact, to Arsenal. Ball came off a defender, so going to be taken by Bukayo Saka. Waiting in pink as the ball is floated into the penalty area and headed away once again. Back with Aaron Ramsdale once more. Ramsdale kicking long. Been a tough job, really, for Crystal Palace to try and seize a little bit of initiative. There's going to be a substitution forthcoming for Crystal Palace, and it had to happen sometime. Mateta comes on, Edouard comes off, and I think that was a change that was bound to come at some. As I said, it's bound to come at some point because in the game, because Mateta just was 5 goals last season. Maybe he joined in January, and does have a good little streak about him. He's a very good, capable player on his day, so he does always have the goods. Anyway, free kick given, or throwing given rather, to Crystal Palace. We trail by a goal to nil. Plenty for Patrick Vieira to think about at this stage. Ball hooked up high in the air. Saka challenging for it. Knocked away once more. And at the moment, it's Gabriel Jesus leading the break. Odegaard's in space. Oh, no, Odegaard could have made it too. Jesus certainly should have done. His shot was deflected away. Will be another Arsenal corner. And Arsenal not putting this game to bed at all. There's been another goal in the game between Birmingham City and Huddersfield Town. Danny Ward, after 61 minutes, has put Huddersfield back in contention. So 2-1 at St Andrews to Birmingham City. 1-0 to Arsenal. Offside has been given when the corner was taken. So suddenly nothing came from that corner. So again, looking for a free kick, and the booking has been awarded. And it's Ben White who's been the recipient. Well, I don't even think there's anything in it. I don't think Ben White should have got the yellow card. If it was contact, it was very minimal on Wilf Sahar, I've got to say. Wilfried Sahar, as we all know, has a bit of a reputation for milking it somewhat. Anyway, coming up to an hour gone on all the TCF platforms. Crystal Palace still Arsenal 1. Please keep your comments clean here on a Friday night Premier League action. First match of 380 in the Premier League this season. We'll have quite a few of them here across the season on the TCF. All the games that matter with our team of commentators. Not just me. We'll have, back for the season, we'll have Russ Burden, we'll have Paul James, we'll have Mike Arneman, amongst others, covering the big stories in the Premier League as the corner comes in. And as the ball comes in, it's off a defender. It will be a corner. So let's see what happens here. Nicholas Jones will be back as well this season. He's taken a little bit of a break after his exploits in the women's tournament, Euro tournament, which was a great success for the female game in this country and the world. Meanwhile, Eze with the corner then from the right-hand side. It's a deep one. Anderson winning the header. Palace has still got a chance in there. And Ayew is on the post. And Guy went in with the goalkeeper. There's a whistle gone. It's a free kick to Arsenal, but the ball did bounce off an Arsenal post, hit the right-hand post, and again, Palace were within a quarter pace of being level, but I think there might have been a foul in there on Gabriel anyway, so I'm not sure. I'm not certain whether the goal would have stood. In fact, an offside's been given. That's what's happened. In fact, Gabriel almost hit it against his own post. In fact, Ramsdale made the save. On the first angle, I swear to God, I thought he hit the post. He didn't. Ramsdale saved, as it turned out. As we saw there, no harm done. Once again, that silly offside law. I mean, it's ugly headed again. I think that offside law needs to be outlawed. We need a simpler way of doing offsides than what the current system. Saka is onside as that ball is played in. It's frustrating for players, it's frustrating for fans, it's frustrating for commentators alike. And quite frankly, it's a complete farce. It's Crystal Palace still, Arsenal 1. If you've just joined us on the TCF, Martinelli with the goal in 20 minutes. 5 or 6 minutes ago, looks like Eze did equalise for Palace, but Aaron Ramsdale made a smart save. Richard has lost it, and it's come to Sahar on the Arsenal right-hand side. That's a poor ball from his standards. Absolutely bisected Odegaard, and it's Palace who come away with it now. A very warm, sticky night. Remember, it's Birmingham 2, Huddersfield 1 in the Championship. As things stand, Birmingham on course for their 4 points from the first 2 games. Under the new boss, John Eustace. As for Danny Schofield, it could be 0 points from 6. Having lost again home to Burnley last week. Ian Matteson with the goal scorer that day. You heard it on TCO with Mike Arneman and Luke Turton. Saka winning the ball there against Mitchell, and Mitchell has been penalised, I think, for hands. It will be a free kick to Arsenal. There's a yellow card being brandished to Nathaniel Klein, presumably, if we're talking out of turn, to the referee. One does understand his frustrations, however. He wasn't the one penalised. I think he just spoke completely and utterly well out of turn. But it was for an earlier challenge, in fact, on Martinelli, as it turned out, as we've just seen on replay. So 64 minutes on the clock. We're coming up to the halfway mark of the second half. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 1, folks. on all the TCF platforms. And at the moment, it's Anderson on the ball, now Klein. Trying to thread something down that right-hand side. Liverpool next up for Palace. It won't get any easier for them if they lose. And Arsenal go to Leicester City next week. Then they go to Bournemouth on August the 20th. In fact, they're at home to Leicester City. And then they've got Fulham at home. Down to Crystal Palace deep inside their own half. Almost midway inside their own half. Game again, it's just quieting down a little bit here. Selhurst. I think the pace of the game was always going to be sticky in this heat and all that sort of thing. Every season nerves. They're never going to be pretty games at the start of the season. Very seldom you get very good games at the start of a season. Anyway, here comes Palace now looking for something here with Clyde. Now then, can they find something with Jordan Ayew? Looking to try and dig out a cross. It hits Alexander Zinchenko and it comes back out once more to Arsenal. Number 28 on the ball there. That's Decore. Decore on now. Ayew. Far side. Still 1-0 for Arsenal as the ball is spreaded in there. Comes on the edge of the box for a shot to be had there. Palace looking for this equalising goal here. Came to Jeffrey Shupp, I think, to hit that one, but he was charged away. Anderson has it for Palace. And Palace showing their worth as well as we come towards the halfway mark of the second half. Now, Will Sarr needs to get his air game on. Finds Tyrese Mitchell. Mitchell again. Oh, that's great skill by the youngster. Certainly can do an impressing Gareth Southgate with the World Cup coming up. Being lots of focus, of course, on Jesse Lingard and join Nottingham Forest as well. Free kick to Palace. As we now go into the almost 67 gone. Still 2-1 to Birmingham City if you're listening in to that one or you're watching the score. And let's see what Palace can do here from this free kick. They do get behind their team. Kevin is on. He praises me for bringing the commentary to him all the way from New Zealand. Thank you for joining us. Free kick to Palace into the area. Well taken by Aaron Ramsdale. A little bit of pressure there from the Palace attacks. Well, Arteta is in the opinion that his goalkeeper should have been fouled. 67 minutes gone then at Selhurst. It's Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 1. Going the 20th minute by Gabriel Martinelli. And part of a new front two for Arsenal that involves debutant Gabriel Jesus. He's done reasonably well, shall we say, on debut for Arsenal. Leicester City next up for Arsenal next weekend. I'm not concerned about Leicester City's lack of any real quality signings. There's been rumours abandoned about their players being touted with moves away, James Maddison just being one of them. Also a competition for being the top Midlands club this year with Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest now back in the ranks alongside Wolves. So the Midlands now 4 strong in terms of good size with Wolves, Villa, Leicester and of course Nottingham Forest I should say, not Notts Forest. And I just got done off Luke Turton for saying that. Here's Odegaard now for Arsenal. That's a foul. Well, surely there. No, said the referee. I thought that was a very strong push. I don't understand why Anthony Taylor didn't give a free kick there, but he's refereeing the situation and not me, so I'm trying to be as lenient as I can towards the officials this year. It's very hard for me to say that. But that's how it is at the moment. That's a foul. It's definitely a free kick to Arsenal. And we're definitely well over halfway through this second half, and Arsenal Leading by 1-0 in the 20th minute, scored by Martinelli. A header back across goal, and that's a good ball to Bukayo Saka. Looks a terrific player. Bukayo Saka, the angle's tight, and he hits it into the stand for an Crystal Palace rubber goal kick. Got away from Tyrese Mitchell there, and they could be possible England colleagues together at the World Cup in 3 months' time in Qatar. Coming up towards the last 20 minutes then of the opening Premier League match of the new season. The first of 380 matches once again this season in the Premier League, spread over a good 10-month period. Of course, they'll have an 8-week interruption due to the World Cup taking place in Qatar. As Saha runs forward, picks out Aye on the edge of the area. But again, Arsenal very stout and looking very good. And Zinchenko certainly has brought himself into the reckoning for player of the match. He certainly looked a really good player at the moment. I hope, well, if he plays this well, I might have to cause a problem too as Saha comes forward, but it's far too close to Aaron Ramsdale. 20 minutes to go on all the TC Hub and Twitch platforms. Our TC Hub feeds, commentary feeds now. Yeah, we are just checking on the time of the goal. 20th minute when the goal was timed from Gabriel Martinelli. If you're wondering if there's been any change in the score at St Andrews in the Sky Bet Championship, the answer is no. It's still 2-1 to Birmingham City. Although it's a very precarious lead now against Huddersfield Town. Danny Wardell scoring for Town after Birmingham has scored 2 first-half goals to give them a 2-0 half-time lead. And then the ball knocked back to Aaron Ramsdale. Had a couple of rickets early on, Ramsdale, but has recovered sufficiently enough to do well. He's made a couple of key saves as well from Eze in particular. We'll have more action over the weekend for you as well on the TC Hub. Stay tuned to our Twitter handle for next live commentaries and stuff. And that's at Commentary Live 1 if you want to follow us on Twitter. That looks a curse shirt pulled by Zinchenko and Aye, but the referee allowed it to go on, and it could work to Palace's advantage. Ball play towards Saha. Left-hand side, cuts it field. Saha shoots, deflects in the air. Arsenal deal with it, but not very far. Comes to Jeffrey Sharp on the edge of the area. Has to go backwards, though, to Anderson on halfway. Palace starting to ask a couple of questions now as we go to the final 20 minutes. Now the ball has been forced to be put out. And I just wonder what's happened here. It says, looks like it's the debutant, Decore is down feeling something there. So as I say, all our feeds this season on the TC Hub on YouTube are through these following channels: JB Sports and Storm FM. And we're also on the TC Hub YouTube channel itself. And we have a sister channel, imaginarily titled TC Hub 2. And then we're also on Twitch as well at www.twitch.tv/The Commentary Hub. Those are the ways you can listen to us this season. 4 different YouTube channels picking up the same feed. So if you're a subscriber to either JB Sports, Storm FM, TC Hub or TC Hub 2, you can listen along on YouTube and hit the notifications bell if you do prefer that. There's nothing happening at the moment. That's why I'm doing a few promos. They're just all taking a drinks break while the injury is being tended to Decore. As I say, if you want to follow us on Twitter, the Twitter handle is at Commentary Live 1. Don't forget it, Commentary Live 1, all one word. We're heading towards the last quarter of an hour, plus any injury time here in this first match of the brand new season here in the Premier League. I'm on the TC Hub as usual, where we write over this one. And your commentator tonight, so your alternate commentator is me, JB, John Stuttard, as we now see Milivojevic, one of the 2 substitutes that are about to come on now. Arsenal kicked the ball back into Palace's territory. I think Anderson was of the opinion that it should have gone to Vincent Guaita and not had a play for a Palace throw. But it gives Vieira a chance to get some fresh legs on for the last quarter of an hour or so. The Corey can't manage it, so Milivojevic, who was normally the club captain, or was last season, it's now on now, but I'm sure Montgahi will keep the armband. Pat Vieira looking on there. He was a terrific player himself, Patrick Vieira, for many, many, many years at Arsenal. Amazing leggy midfielder whose battles with Roy Keane in the late 90s, early 2000s was so box office to watch. You had to be on the edge of your seat to watch them two. Always battle hard in midfield when Arsenal and Manchester United took to the field. At the moment, no, his power side looking second best tonight, unfortunately, against a very well organised Arsenal side. And I have to say, Arteta slowly away over the last 2 or 3 seasons has started to mould an Arsenal team his way. After the last few years, which was pretty barren under Arsene Wenger, and then, of course, the 2 years under, a year and a half under Unai Emery, who really didn't endear himself too well, especially when Arsenal had a big chance to win a European trophy, and they crumbled, you may recall, in Baku 4-1 in the Europa League final some 4 years ago, nearly 3.5 years ago, against Chelsea of all teams. Arsenal still got all 5 remaining. Palace have 3. Ball played into the penalty area, knocked away. In fact, there was a bit of pushing and shoving there by the Crystal Palace player. Free kick to Arsenal. Found Gabriel. It was I who played the ball in. And Mateta was clearly pushing Gabriel. So a free kick quite rightly given to Arsenal. Patrick Vieira. Suit. Open collared shirt. No tie. Ramsdale's kick right footed. Palace are taking their favourite Elmsdale Road end, if you're wondering which end's the shitty from. In the second half, the Elmsdale Road end is where all the Palace Ultras sit in that big 2-tier stand. Tend to leave a 2-tier stand away to my right, to my left rather. And behind the other goal, away to my right, behind the stand there with one tier and a lot of executive boxes, there's actually a Sainsbury's supermarket just behind that. So if you're going, I think a few Palace supporters, when they leave the stadium tonight, might want to do their late night weekly shop. I wonder if Sainsbury's there will be open until late, I think, tonight. Anyway, here's Welsh. He's got away from his man. Oh, good challenge. What a good challenge that was by William Saliba. Or was it? Referee said that it was a free kick to Palace. I have to say, I think Saliba took the ball, unless it was for the first challenge by Partey. Could have played advantage, but let's have a look. Thomas Partey. Yeah, possibly for Partey. Nothing wrong with the second challenge. I think he blew the dangerous nature of the first one from Thomas Partey. He let the leg breathe for about 2 or 3 minutes. That was good, sensible refereeing from Anthony Taylor. Now, Eze needs a good delivery here from the near side, the left-hand side, towards Anderson, who wins the header. Mark Gahey goes in, but again, it's hooked away. And it will be a throw. Crystal Palace still Arsenal 1. If you just joined us on the TCO, we've got 12 minutes plus injury time left to play here on opening night on the TCO. Friday night football from the Premier League. And we'll be live with more league action over the weekend as the league season begins in earnest in the top division. Championship opened up last week with a 1-0 victory for Burnley. There was a defeat as well on opening day for another of the demoted sides, Norwich, in a bad tempered game at Cardiff. They play Wigan tomorrow, actually, lunchtime to Norwich. Burnley are next in action tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock against Luton Town. You'll be able to hear delayed commentary of that game with me, actually, over the weekend on all TCR platforms. Possibly Monday when we'll play that out. So yeah, anyway, here's Saha to the area. Comes to Saha again. Edge of the box. Comes out to Anderson once more. And we're now inside the last, towards the last 11 and a half, 10 and a half of this for stoppage time. Ayew now. Can Palace find an equaliser and try and save a point out of it? Arsenal winning by a goal to nil. We've led since the 20th minute. Martinelli scored with a close range header in front of the Umsdale Road end. Header from Zinchenko's back header into the box. From a deep corner. Making it 1-0. Jeffrey Schlupp now. In possession with Arsenal. Not letting him try and play through the lines, and Arsenal not letting Palace play between the lines. 10 minutes to go for stoppage time. As soon as the whistle goes, we'll be coming off the air at the TC Hub. But there'll be plenty of live and recorded commentaries over the weekend, alternate ones for you on the TC Hub as the football season now gets into full swing. And here goes Palace in full swing. Comes to Eze on the edge of the area. There was a good run there. I think Ayew wanted a penalty. I don't think he was going to get one, if truth be told. Here's Tyrese Mitchell to Wilfried Zaha. 9.5 minutes to play. Zaha gets the ball into the penalty area, across the face of the goal. And he might be kept in here by Klein. It is into the area. Jordan Ayew attacked it at the near post, but he couldn't reach it. Milivojevic in possession. Comes back to Gahi. Just reminds you of the timing of the goal. 20 minutes, Gabriel Martinelli. As regards the other game in the Championship between Birmingham and Huddersfield Town, it's still 2-1 to Brum. And it looks like being no points out of 6 for the beaten playoff finalists last year. As Eze goes into the box now, what does he get here? There's an advantage play, a chance there for Palace. They might have to check it on the VAR. Looked to me from the first instance that Eze was tripped over. Whether it was in or out of the box, I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure Darren England on the VAR will have had a look at that. Here's Mitchell now. The flag stays down. The cross comes in. Should be playing out now. Goal kick has been awarded, but I was just wondering if that was a penalty there, possibly for Crystal Palace. Eze making a run. No, I think he simulated that. I don't think Saka touched him. I think from the first angle it did look a foul, but then when you look at it again, slowed down, I think you can understand why the referee was reluctant to even give him an opportunity of a free, or entertain the opportunity of a free kick. As Steve Round there, the Arsenal coach, passed to one of the substitutes on the back, and looks like Alexander Zinchenko is the man going off here. He's had a terrific debut. I think the Arsenal fans love him. And Kieran Tierney, the Scot, comes on for Zinchenko. And he was Paul Tierney, the referee. It's Kieran, not Paul. And Gabriel Jesus. No goal for him, but looked lively. Certainly in the first half, he's going to be replaced by Eddie Nketiah. And of course, Zinchenko, I think, has done really well. Switched a new contract, signed a new contract, and wears Thierry Henry's old shirt number. That's some statement. As we go inside the last 7 minutes. Arsenal winning. Of course, Fulham take on Liverpool tomorrow. That's a lunchtime kickoff. And then Chelsea-Everton. Everton-Chelsea, that's our late game as well. That's at 5:30, as you probably would have guessed, folks. Nottingham Forest kick off their season tomorrow against Newcastle. That should be a cracking game down up at St James's Park. That's all the big spenders there. I mean, Forest has spent a fair bit. Jesse Lingard, Dean Henderson, Nico Williams, just 3 of the players that they've recruited cleverly in the summer. Had a good pre-season to boot as well, Forest. Luke was telling me on Turton Talks Football last night. If you ain't seen it, go on his YouTube channel. Just type in on your search engine on YouTube at Turton Talks Football. That's Turton Talks Football. And you'll find the episode there. I do appear on it. I'm a Newcastle fan, and Luke Turton and Phil, the Forest fan, who was very complimentary towards me and the team I support, Burnley, yesterday. If you are listening, guys, big up to you. Here's Sahar now inside the penalty area for Arsenal, looking to get the ball across, and it's got in the net. Arsenal have scored, and it's Bukayo Saka, who spread the goal all night, has certainly got it down. May have got a deflection on Mark Gahey. If it did, it took a huge chunk, but I'm sure Saka will claim it. And the 20-year-old gets off to a flying start this season. Arsenal celebrate. There may be a debate whether that was a Saka goal or a Mark Gahey home goal, but nevertheless, it's 2-0 to Arsenal. As we look at the replay, Saka cuts inside. Now this is going, it's an own goal. It's an own goal by Mark Gahey. There'll be no first goal of the season for Bukayo Saka. It did look across, to be fair. And if Gahey had got there, I'm pretty sure an Arsenal player would have done. Eddie Nketiah was waiting in the middle, as it turned out. So an own goal it is to Mark Gahey. Saka will know that one will be taken away from him by the dubious goals committee. But that's the victory now for Arsenal with 5 minutes to spare. And there'll be a very delighted Mike Arneman listening to this at home, as we see Will Hughes now on as a substitute. And, well, I can definitely tell you guys, I'll give you a clue where the player of the match will come from. It definitely won't be from Crystal Palace. It's going to go to an Arsenal player. Ibarori is now on for Eze. And we'll get confirmation of the Will Hughes change in a minute as Nketiah bears down and goal. Now Saka's through. Will he get his goal this time? Deflected and behind for a corner. Tompkins is off and Will Hughes is on. I know James Tompkins is not going. James Tompkins isn't on the team sheet. Now I don't know where the graphics people got that from. We'll get confirmation of that in a minute. But Saka should have helped himself to another one there. Jeffrey Schrupp is the man. I thought it wasn't James Tompkins. He wasn't on the team sheet. Anyway, Jeff Schrupp has got up. The Arsenal fans are cock-a-hoop. They know they're going to, unlike Brentford a year ago, they are going to taste victory. And there'll be no Arsenal fan TV meltdown. They might go for a third one as the corner comes in from Saka, but well taken by Vincent Guaita, who had little or no chance with both the goals. So it has been accredited to Gahey as an own goal and not Bukayo Saka. Well, we've got 3 minutes to go. I've got to choose a player of the match, and it's a toss-up really between Alexander Zinchenko and Bukayo Saka. But I'm just going to plump for the England man, Saka, because I think the second half has been lively. He's been fantastic. He's looked a threat throughout, as Zinchenko has been, but he's had the cutting edge, and of course he's played a part in that second killer goal. So just pipping it for me over Zinchenko is Bukayo Saka. He's our player of the match, sponsored, of course, by the commentary services. So Bukayo Saka, player of the match. Absolutely been first rate today, and I don't think anyone can deny Palace the scoreline. As we will go for a few of your comments now, as we're playing out time. Dennis White says, hello everybody. Hello, Dennis. I don't know what that means, Mungari, please. Please, can we have that in English? Again, let's reiterate, please. Let's just have a little bit of decorum on the chat, please. No bad language. We are a family show, please. Please, we cannot stress that enough, and we'll always stress it enough on the chat. So if you do swear or you say anything derogatory on the comment section, let it be said, there are moderators that will block you from it. We like to open up the chat to people, but we might have to start making being strict on one or two things now with regards to chat. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace looking in search of what might be a consolation goal as Abawai now comes forward. The referee stopped the play. I think there's a foul been committed. And Milivojevic wanting words. And the Arsenal players surrounding him now, and there's going to be a drop ball, I think. And it's gone to Crystal Palace. Why can't we have a contested drop ball like the olden days? That'd be good to see, wouldn't it? You know, it's we don't get that much these days in the terms of that sort of thing anymore. As I say, it's all rather sad, really, but there you go. The Arsenal fans don't mind, no. They're enjoying their night down in southeast London. They'll go back to North London, not too far up the road, with all 3 points in the bag, and deservedly so, really, against Palace, who really haven't strutted into anything like they're capable of on their given day. Last season's 12th place side and FA Cup semi-finalists, starting their season off with a disappointing 2-0 defeat. Arsenal, who lost 2-0 at this stage of the season last year on a Friday night to Brentford, who were then newly promoted. They're going to start the season with the opposite scoreline if they can hold on and keep a clean sheet for the remaining 3 added minutes, for which we played 25 seconds of the first of those 3. Ball played into the penalty area from Palace, and they'll break for Wilf Zaha. Zaha keeps it in okay. Tyrese Mitchell back to Mark Gahey, who's gone goal now as you think now has settled any lingering doubts. They'll avoid wishing to Will Hughes inside the penalty area. Hughes tried a cross. They'll have a second go at that, and he gets a good cross in there, and it was a very good cross. It comes out to the number 17 for Palace, and that is Nathaniel Klein. We played a minute of the 3. They're not going to give in now by any means, Crystal Palace. Remember, it's still Birmingham City 2. Birmingham 2-1 up, but there's been a late development now. And Russ has just told me, could it be the fact that Palace haven't got Conor Gallagher this season? He was a key player. That is actually quite a good point that producer Russ makes, that there's no Conor Gallagher for Palace, of course. He was on loan last season. I wonder if he'll go back there again this season, or will there be, or will Thomas Tuchel use him at Chelsea? Well, we'll soon find out over the weekend as Granit Xhaka takes the captaincy off of Martin Odegaard, as Arsenal prepare just to waste a few more seconds at the end of the match. We've got about a minute of the 3 due to go. Should also stress at this stage it's a minimum of still Birmingham City 2, Huddersfield 1 in the Championship. I might get an indication of whether that's a full-time score. And indeed, right on cue. So Birmingham City with goals from Hogan and Placenta have beaten Huddersfield Town scorer Daddy Ward. And it means Birmingham have 4 points from a possible 6 and will top the Championship, I think. And as for Huddersfield Town, no points from 6. And there's a lot of people saying that Huddersfield could go down in the Championship preview show last week. Certainly Russ, Mike, and a couple of others were saying that. And because they've lost key players and Danny Schofield hasn't been able to bring anybody in of any really good quality so far, could be a long old season for the men from West Yorkshire. Well, we've played the 3 minutes now. It's down to Mr. Taylor's discretion how much longer there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be much else, really. The game's up for Crystal Palace. It's been up, really, since the 82nd minute when that own goal went in. Oh, Patrick Vieira's been a disappointing night for him. Not so much for Arsenal, who have really gone about their business very authoritatively. And they're going to start the season with a bang. They can follow that up with a victory against Leicester City. They'll be fine. And Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, unlike a year ago when they were beaten to a pulp at Brentford, well, no such problems here at Crystal Palace this time round. Martinelli after 20 minutes. Mark Gahey with a goal 5 minutes from time. Arsenal comfortable 2-0 winners over Crystal Palace, who, let's be perfectly honest, never looked like getting out of first gear, let alone top gear. Arsenal didn't need to break sweat, if truth be told. Palace did threaten through Eze, when he got one-on-one with goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, but Aaron Ramsdale made a smart save, and then Arsenal just took over then and closed the game out and got that insurance policy of a second goal. Sacco tried to claim it, but I think in his heart of hearts he knew that was not going on target. Nevertheless, Mikel Arteta can be pleased with his night's work. Bukayo Saka is our player of the match, and I thought you just about shared it. I think Alexander Zinchenko deserves a mention. Coming to a new team and linked up with his old Manchester City colleague Gabriel Jesus very well. And I certainly think, in my heart of hearts, and I'm looking at this as an observer now from afar, an unbiased objective, I think Arsenal could actually literally get across the top four. And I hope I don't put the kiss to death on it, but when you look at, it's only the first game of the season, but they do look a handy side this time round. And maybe Arteta maybe just be getting the blend right with the signings. And there's a good youthful feel about and vibrance about the Arsenal side that really are there. They are pulling the fans at the moment, and they're cock-a-hoop. After we see Arsenal fans cock-a-hoop after an away game, but always a first time for everything. But he certainly played well. Alexander Zinchenko, he really looked the goods tonight. And I think Arsenal could get crashed the top four. I really do think that. They got a young, youthful, vibrant setup. Gabriel Jesus fits into the system that Arteta tries to play. I think they could well be a pretty good season if they can go on a cup run, get in the top four, do well in the Europa League this year. They're in Europe again this year, in the Europa. Have a good run in that. Who knows where it might take them. But as far as tonight is concerned, they're off to a good start here on this Friday night feast of Premier League football. The first of 380 games is over. Just another 379 left to go. So we leave you now tonight on the TC Hub. Just to remind you that all these fixtures, let's just remind you of what's coming up tomorrow. Fulham, Liverpool at 12:30, then at 3 o'clock. Bournemouth, Aston Villa. Leeds United against Wolves. Newcastle against Nottingham Forest. And Tottenham against Southampton. The late game is at 5:30 between Everton and Chelsea. That's tomorrow's Premier League fixture list. And some of those games will be on the TC Hub for you over the weekend. And of course, Sunday will bring you some games as well. On Sunday, 2 matches, about 3 matches on Sunday. We've got Leicester City and Brentford and Manchester United Brighton. That'll be Paul James's match, I believe. And then there's West Ham and Manchester City at 4:30 in the afternoon. 2 o'clock, by the way, kickoffs for Leicester and Manchester United. But tonight here at Selhurst Park, it's been a fantastic performance by Arsenal, a very workmanlike Arsenal performance. And I have to say, West Ham and Manchester City, in fact, is Paul James' game, and that will be seen on the TCO. So we've got that one correct. But just read a few of the comments out towards the end, if they are printable. Shanga Tungo, I'm not going to try and pronounce your full name. He says that a great win away. Well done, Arsenal. I think that's what he's trying to say. And I think, and that's a pretty good way in which to end our broadcast tonight. We'll be plenty more action over the weekend on the TCL with Paul James, of course, at West Ham on Sunday. And I'm sure we'll have a Saturday game for you as well. But tonight here, and the opening night, it was all right on the night for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. From us all here at Selhurst Park on the TC Hub. Good night to you all. Good night.